We have two of our student ambassadors here. I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Okay, hi everybody. My name is Cristina Malden. I'm here on Zoom from Mansfield, Texas, where I'm from. I'm a senior at SMU. I'm on the pre-law track, double majoring in Spanish and education. And I'm also a resident assistant, which we'll tell you guys about in a little bit.
All right, I'm the other student ambassador here. My name is Lukas Ramey. I am originally from Chicago, Illinois, but I'm right now posted in McKinney, Texas. I'm a senior at SMU. I'm double majoring in mechanical engineering and math. I've been an ambassador for about 3 years now, and I'm also a residential assistant here on campus. So that's why we were the ones that were assigned to take you guys through the tour, the residential commons tour. So yeah.
All right, guys, and I'm the other floating head happening up here. I'm Nathan Malharder. I'm one of the admission counselors here at SMU. I work with students from New England, everything north of Fairfield, Connecticut, and then Ohio. And then I also work with students from India. And I know we got a couple in here from India, so thank you for waking up. Good morning, good morning, good morning. 3 a.m. over in India right now. So thanks for joining us. And I'm going to hand it back over to Lukas and Cristina. They're going to get us going. Can everyone hear us okay before we get going? We got thumbs up around the board? All right, perfect. We're alive, we're well. I love it. I love it.
We're good. Chilling and killing.
All right, Lukas, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Oh, one more thing before we get going. If there's any questions that pop up as we go along, feel free to put them in the group chat. We can start answering them as we go along. So feel free to just throw them in, and Cristina will start answering them as we go.
All righty, folks. You want to share your screen, Nathan? So they got a visual. Sweet. And we are live. All right, people. So here's an overview of campus. If you haven't seen it yet, I know that you guys have been going since about 3 o'clock today. So if you've seen this picture before, I'm just going to talk about the residential commons. So each one of those little pinpoints outside of maybe 2 of them are the 11 residential commons that we have here on campus. They're all set up by quad. So there's a south quad, there's a north. I very rarely say them by their cardinal directions. There's a north quad, there's a southeast quad, I believe, and then there's Bose that's in one of them. So you won't really need to know the quad names very much, but they're all set up in their own little sections. And each one is, I guess, has its own specific location that is beneficial to each part of campus. But the reason I'm saying commons versus dorm is something that I wanted to specify to you guys real quick. So if you guys think of the typical dorm that you have at any state school, bigger school, we usually split those up by the community and the culture that are there. So for example, there would be one dorm that's an engineering dorm, or one dorm that's a girls dorm, and this, that, and the other. And SMU used to have that. Probably 6 years ago, we used to have that. And we found that to be super limiting to what our community could accomplish, because SMU has people coming from all 50 states, from all different majors, and everything in between. So we thought that we didn't want to split everyone up to keep all of those cliques inside. So instead, we went to the residential commons system. So there's in each of the 11 commons, you are pretty much just randomly placed into each one of the places. So personally, for me, I know I had a roommate who was a photographer. I'm an engineering major. I had a roommate who was a photography minor. My suite mate was the lead oboe in the band. My 2 neighbors were both football players, and then my other neighbor was I believe it was a finance major from Nashville. So just in that one little area of Cockerel McIntosh Commons, there's just so much community going on. That's the reason that we want to have common system. So I know I slip up a little bit when I'm saying dorms versus commons a lot. So if I do, feel free to stop me, smash it in the chat. So yeah, Nathan, if you want to go switch over to MOMAC, so we can get a little bit more in depth, and I'll go a little bit more in depth about what the commons is. So because it's randomized, we still wanted to instill some sort of sense of pride into everybody's living space. So right now we're going into one of the typical rooms. I guess while we're here, I'll explain what the room is and what you'll get. So what you'll be getting specifically is, as you can see right there in the corner, each will come with 2 beds. There's the 2 closets right there on the left. There'll be 2 desks as it keeps on rotating. And then 2 chairs, that all comes with it. And then everything else is pretty much up to you. So this room is pretty well, I mean, it's much better decorated than mine was my freshman year. You can kind of do whatever you'd like. You can bring in anything. As you can see, you can bring in Keurig. You can't bring in a microwave or really any open flames. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. That's everything you're going to be getting. Make it your own. Do all of that. And this is about a typical size room. I know it's kind of hard to visualize. as you're looking at it virtually. But this is something that you should be expecting. Those are twin size beds. And yeah, but going back into the commons system that we kind of have, we wanted to instill a sense of pride into each one of the commons. So there's a lot of different ways you can do that. One way that I'm actually representing right now is common swag. I'm wearing the hoodie right now, Cockerel Macintosh. I've lived there for the past 4 years. So there's that. Each commons has its specific program that it has, whether that's a big program or small programs. So for example, this is the Cockerel Classic, which is something that we have every winter where we bring in a horse carriage that goes around the boulevard. We bring in a hot chocolate vendor. There's always a photo booth that we have, and it's a big event that's open to everyone on campus. There's also other events such as Crew to Wear, which is a big Mardi Gras celebration. Basically, there's Crowchella, which is Kathy Crow Commons, and they throw basically a music festival in their quad. And each one has its own little vibe to it. So there's a lot of pride that's going into it, and then we really, at the end of the day, we want to make your commons your home away from home. So I know I personally have met a ton of friends that I'm still talking to, or they have been my friends all throughout college, and they probably will be my friends outside of college as well, lifelong friends. So Christina, if you want to keep on going and talking a little bit more about maybe FERS and RCDs, bounce it off.
Yeah, of course. So in the Commons, we have a really unique leadership system that sort of functions as a community to give that community feel, but to also give students opportunities to have leadership positions. And so one thing that every Commons has is this thing called Commons Council or Community Council. And technically everyone in the Commons is a member, but usually there's about 15 to about 20, sometimes 30 or sometimes more kids who get super involved in the Commons and take on leadership positions. It looks different depending on what building you live in, but for example, I'm in Armstrong Commons. I've also lived there for the past 4 years, and we have a president, we have a vice president, we have a secretary, we have a spirit and competitions chair who runs things like intramurals and then competitions amongst the Commons and things like that. So really cool way to meet friends, make friends, have a friend group, and then also have a leadership position. And then we also have this thing called an RCD and a FER. And so your RCD is your residential community director. And so they're the person who's basically in charge of the building and giving it that community feel, but also making sure that every student's voice in the building is heard. And then we also have a FER, which is the faculty in residence. So the fun thing about a FER is that they're actually an SMU professor who lives in the building with you. So they come from all over campus, all different schools and things like that. And they all bring something unique to the building that they live in. And then all of them have pets. So it's super fun. You have like dogs, some of them have cats. And so that's really exciting if you're an animal person and you're looking to have a pet that's somewhere close in your living vicinity, because they love being able to share their pets with all the students in the Commons. And then also part of your leadership team, you have your RAs. So me and Lukas both mentioned that we're RAs. So basically you're resident assistants, and like 90% of our job is just like community building, event planning and things like that. And then we're also just responsible for being the responsible people in the building. So we're each in charge of like 30 or so residents that we have. My Commons is community style, and so what that means is that every room has either just one person or a roommate pair, and then up the hallway are the bathrooms that we share. Each bathroom has like maybe 6 to 10 people in it, and Lukas lives in like suite style. So suite style is a little different in that you and your roommate still share a room, but then you'll have a bathroom that you share Jack and Jill style with another room, so it'll be 4 people to a suite, 3 or 4 people, and then the bathroom that you share. And so yeah, either way, we're just kind of in charge of those spaces and just having fun and making the experience good for everybody. So yeah.
Lukas, can you jump in a little bit about talking about how to get a roommate, how exactly that process works?
Yeah, of course. So I know as you guys are all transitioning into college, a roommate is one of the things that you guys are thinking about. It's not meant to be a scary process, and SMU actually does everything that they can to make sure that you're matched up with somebody that fits your personality, your I guess your style and your schedule the best. So imagine it as sort of a dating website that is for roommates. So you get into the housing portal and it asks you a bunch of different questions, such as what is your typical schedule? Do you usually go to bed at like 3 in the morning, or are you more of somebody that goes to bed at 10 p.m.? Do you like studying in the room, or do you like studying in the library? Do you like going out? Do you like staying in? All of these questions, not supposed to be super extensive. But we do filter all of those through our system of freshmen. And if you wanted to go random roommate, that's how we would do it. However, if you didn't want to go random roommate, obviously I feel like a lot of you will probably come in knowing a friend or two. You could also go into that housing portal, and as long as you guys both have your IDs, you can just request each other, and then you'll get into the same room. But when it comes to getting into each one of the 11 residential commons, that is a little bit more randomized. As I said, we randomly place everyone into it, but you can have your preferences. So as Cristina was saying, there's both a community style and a suite style room. So community style is what you typically think of college. You have your 2 people there. And there's a community style bathrooms where everyone shares that. It's about 5 people per bathroom, I would say. Usually 2 on each side of the floor, and they're cleaned every single day. So they're very clean. And there's also the suite style where you share the Jack and Jill that's cleaned. The bathroom is cleaned once a week for you. So you have to be a little bit more careful to take care of that yourself. And obviously there's less suite style on campus than there is community style. Once you go into the housing portal, you have the opportunity to preference which one you want. We do everything we can to make sure everyone gets their preference, but obviously if more people want suite style than community style, you can't do that. So if you wanted suite style off the bat, go ahead and request that on the housing portal as you go in. So I see Anna Kate Strong, thank you for your question, asked how often are the bathrooms cleaned? So yeah, if you're in community style, those will be cleaned once a day. So literally every single day they'll be going there, they will be cleaned. I personally never lived in community style, but every time I lived there, or every time that I did go to the bathroom in a community style bathroom, it was pristine. So yeah, there's that. And then the suite style, that came and cleaned once a week. So they'll just do all of the deeper cleaning for you, like clean your shower, clean your floor, clean your bathroom, clean your sink, all of that good stuff. They'll do that once a week. So you have, because it is technically it is legitimately in your room. So you have to do a little bit better job to keep it clean yourself, but they do clean it once a week for you.
Yes. One popular question also that a lot of students ask is if you can have pets. You actually can have fish, but you can't have like a dog, cat, gerbil, hamster situation unless it's a service animal or an emotional support animal. And they do have special rooms set aside for if you have that situation. And that would be something that you would register with the DAS office, and then they would communicate with the housing office and get you a room that can accommodate those things, if that's something that you need or are looking for. But a lot of people do bring fish. Fish are kind of fun.
Fish are fun.
Fish are friends, not
food.
And food. Abby, or wait, no. The question before that is when and where do we get your ID? That's actually a great question because I know Arrow is looking a little bit different. So that might be a question for Nathan.
Yeah, so you get your SMU ID number, which is what Lukas referenced to access and get the same roommate. You get that as soon as you pay your deposit. So within 48 hours after you pay your deposit, you'll go through the process of finding out your SMU ID, getting access to your SMU email, all of that kind of stuff. Then starts this housing process of signing up for a roommate, signing up with the dating profile that Lukas described, signing up with a roommate that you already know, and that kind of thing happens right after you pay your deposit. So your physical ID, your actual card ID that would be used as swipe-ins and swipe-outs like Lukas and Cristina have mentioned, you don't get until you move on to campus in August. So that will happen once you get actually to campus. But your SMU ID number is what will give you access to all the different platforms we have up through the summer.
Sweet. Thank you for that, Nathan.
Yeah, man. I can't see the questions, so keep coming if you got them for me.
You killed it, dude.
No, I'm doing great.
Abby asks, what furniture is already included in the room? Dude, this is so much fun.
I know, right?
I love this. But yeah, Abby asked what furniture is already included in the room. So if you look around the room that's currently being screen shared right now, so on that back left, there's those 2 beds, and you can loft those to any height that you want. So this is honestly a weirder style that they decided to give to you. It's a space saving style. So if you're really close to your roommate, you can bunk them like that. You can keep them separate, anything you want. I personally had both of mine lofted. So you get the 2 beds, the 2 dressers right here on the left and the right side. Those will both be included. There's closets on this left side. You'll always have 2 closets, so you'll have your own closet with your roommate. And then if you keep shifting around, you'll see your 2 desks. And There you go. The brown desks and the brown chairs, those are also both included. And then everything else is pretty much up to you. So like this wire rack right here is something that they brought in, this trash can, all the wall decorations, all of that. So we pretty much give it to you bare. We give you what we consider the college essentials. And then after that, the world's your oyster.
You are able to rent a fridge, right?
Yes, you can. Through
Okay.
Mustang Laundry. And so if you rent your fridge, they'll bring it to you on move-in day, and then they'll take it out for you when you move out. I really like Mike's question. He said, how comfortable are the mattresses? So I actually worked at Bed Bath & Beyond for 2 years, so I consider myself the college room expert. And so yeah, so the twin extra long mattress. So I believe it's like 96 inches long, which is a little bit longer than your normal 84-inch twin bed. And so I would always suggest getting twin extra long sheets. However, if you get stretchy sheets, you can save money and get twin sheets and you'll be fine. Now in the mattress situation, they are comfortable on their own. However, there's this really cool thing you can buy called a mattress topper, and it makes your mattress as much more comfortable as you want it to be. So you could get like a 1.5-inch one and just add like a little bit of softness, or you can get like up to a 6-inch one, which is like really thick and really soft if you like really like that memory foam feel. But alone, like if you didn't want to bring all those things, I think the mattresses are just fine. But I had a mattress topper for my comfort whenever I was living in.
That sponsored ad was brought to you by Bed Bath & Beyond. Thank you to Cristina Malden.
Yeah, this is actually a Bed Bath & Beyond endorsed tour. So,
I take pride in my dorm room knowledge.
Benjamin asks, are the single dorms in different areas of the campus? First of all, commons, Benjamin. That's okay. I mess up all the time too. But anyways, single commons they're kind of integrated just throughout. So I know Cockerel has 8 single rooms in it. I know Momac has a whole floor of just singles. Armstrong just has them kind of dispersed. So there's no single commons throughout. There's no single like specific commons. They're just kind of throughout all of them. So that's also something that you can request if you wanted to go single. I know I just said suite style and community style back then, but if you wanted to request single, you can. I just know priority goes to people they're still underclassmen, like sophomores, juniors, and seniors that are still living in the commons. The single they'll get the priority for it. So you can still try it though. I mean, I've seen freshmen get it, but yeah.
Everyone, I just wanted to make a really quick announcement. I know this was a quick session. We do have the student panel later today. So all these questions y'all are sending in are great. And so we will have more of our ambassadors around later to keep on answering these for you. The next session does start at 6:20. It's our virtual Dallas tour. Hopefully this one will stay open for you all and it won't cut y'all out. And then y'all can keep on hanging out in here and asking questions. But those that want to bop on over to the Dallas virtual tour, we will send that link in the chat now.